down tonight. Here's Fafita. Plenty of time. Throwing, that's complete. Here's T-Mac. T-Mac. A house call. Again. It's his third.
Somebody playing the drive coming up. Fafita on 3rd and 5. Likely a free play right here on the outside. He's going to chuck it downfield. Look at the end zone. Got his man McMillan. That's a score. Touchdown, Arizona. Defense number 9.
Fafita steps up in the pocket. He unloads. He's got a man wide open. T-Mac.
What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the ZayMoolaSportsPodcast. I'm your host, Isaiah, and we have another 2025 NFL Draft Scouting Report. And today we have Arizona WR Tetairoa McMillan. So without further ado, let's get straight into it. All right, y'all, let's start with his measurables. He's 6'5", 212 pounds. You look at his 2024 stats. He had 84 catches for 1,319 yards and 8 touchdowns. So this is great production from T-Mac. And now let's get to his strengths. I think his first strength is that he has insane size. Again, he's 6'5", 212 pounds. So he's going to be one of the most physically imposing wide receivers in the NFL. The only other receivers that have this type of size, y'all, would be like T. Higgins, Drake London, and Mike Evans, but not too many receivers are just have this type of size and strength. So I think this is going to be a big strength for T-Mac. His next strength is that he has elite hands. He doesn't drop passes. In 2024, he only had 2 drops on 130 targets, and that is very impressive, especially when you consider the fact that he was the focal point of their Arizona offense. They targeted him a ton, and the fact that he only had 2 drops shows you the type of hands that he possesses, so you really love to see that. You look at his next strength, y'all, he has a ridiculous catch radius. You could throw it anywhere in his vicinity, and he is going to come down with that football more likely than not. And I think this is the skill set that his quarterback in the NFL is really going to love, because he can make his quarterback look better than what he is. I mean, think about all the times this past season, y'all, that he made Noah Fafita look like a decent quarterback, even though Noah Fafita really struggled. But because T-Mac was just incredibly talented and had this ridiculous catch radius, he was basically able to catch some passes, y'all, that were uncatchable. I mean, there were so many times on tape where I saw Noah Fafita, he threw a ball that was too high, he threw a ball that was too low, and somehow T-Mac made those catches, y'all. And T-Mac uses his size to his advantage. As I told y'all earlier, he's 6'5", 212 pounds. So he's a big wide receiver. And we know the bigger you are, the bigger your catch radius will be. And this is something that T-Mac definitely takes advantage of. You look at his next strength, y'all. He is a contested catch demon. He is constantly bullying DBs on the field. And he is so great at tracking the ball when it's in the air. I mean, he probably has the best ball skills of any player in this draft class, not named Travis Hunter. And this is why y'all see DBs have such a hard time trying to go up and make a play on the ball against T-Mac, because not only is he great at tracking the football, but because he is so strong at the point of attack, y'all. I mean, when that ball is in the air, you don't stand a chance to get it from T-Mac, because he's so strong, because he's so physical. And he makes 50-50 balls, 80-20 balls. And if you're not a physical DB, T-Mac is going to have his way with you, because when that ball's in the air, he's going to jump over you, he's going to catch it on your head, and he's going to score a touchdown, because that's what he does. His next strength is that he is a very smooth athlete. And I think this is the most underrated part of his game, because a lot of people perceive him as being this big guy that's very slow and that cannot move. But y'all, I think for his size, he's a solid athlete. And I think his short area quickness is pretty good as well. I mean, he's able to beat man coverage. He's able to get in and out of his breaks pretty well. And sometimes, y'all, I think short area quickness is more important than speed. Now, obviously, speed is very important, but you have to put things in the context, y'all. He's 6'5", 212 pounds, okay? I'd much rather him have really good short area quickness than be super fast. Now, we're going to get into his speed here in a minute, but his short area quickness is very good, and I think this is something that more people need to give him credit for. And I think he's a good enough athlete to where he'll be able to have success in the NFL. You look at this next strength, y'all. He is a refined route runner. And sometimes when you're dealing with these tall wide receivers, they won't always be the best route runners. But I think T-Mac is the exception, because I think he's a really good route runner. He can run the entire route tree. And this is going to give him a huge advantage over some of the other receivers in this class, y'all, because you take a guy like a Matthew Golden or Isaiah Bond, they have a lot of speed, but they're not the best route runners. But T-Mac is a good route runner. I mean, he's really a well-rounded wide receiver, and that's what I really love about him, y'all. His final strength is his run after the catch ability. If you allow him to go make a play with the football, he can definitely do that. And again, I know a lot of people don't think he can move, but I'm telling you, when you turn on the tape, you constantly see him running away from defensive backs, particularly in their first game against New Mexico last season. Y'all, there was like 3 times in that game when he just ran away from those dudes and they could not catch up to him. So he is definitely going to be a yard after catch type of guy in the NFL, and you really love to see that. And now we move to his weaknesses. I think his first weakness is his speed. He isn't the fastest guy, but as I mentioned earlier, his short area quickness is very good. And I think for a guy his size, that's more important than speed, but he's not a burner. He's not going to be one of the fastest guys in the NFL, and that could give him some problems, but I don't think it would be too big of a problem because we see a guy like Mike Evans that isn't the fastest guy, but just dominates because of all the other great qualities that he possesses, and I think Tetairoa McMillan is going to follow suit. You look at this next weakness, y'all, separation. He can struggle against press coverage, and I don't really understand this because, again, he's a good route runner, he's physical, and he has decent enough speed, but, man, he can really struggle to get off the line of scrimmage when he's going up against press coverage. So this is something he's going to have to clean up because, man, you're talking about in the NFL, you're going to have to go against, like, Patrick Surtain, Jalen Ramsey, Sauce Gardner. These are corners. They love to play that press man coverage. They love to be incredibly physical, and Tetairoa McMillan's going to go up against those type of guys, so he's going to have to become a better separator. And I think his third and final weakness is his route urgency. There are times where he just is kind of going through the motions as he's running his routes, and this is something that I did not see in 2023, but I saw a lot of in 2024, and I think the reason for that is, y'all, in 2023, Arizona was a good team. They won 10 games. In 2024, Arizona was a bad team. They only won 4 games, and I think T-Mac was disinterested at times. I think he was unmotivated to play sometimes because they were so bad, and even though he was putting up great numbers, it was not translating to team success. And I don't think this is going to be a big weakness, but I think NFL GMs could maybe see this and say, okay, well, you know, if we're having a bad game, is this guy going to be motivated? Is he going to give us everything he can to help us win this game? And I think he will, y'all. But again, you know how some NFL GMs are. They look at everything. So this is why I listed that as a weakness. And now it is time for me to give y'all my pro comparison and my prospect grade for him. And we will get on up out of here. Our pro comparison for T-Mac is Drake London. And I think he has a lot of similarities with Drake London in terms of his size, his contested catchability, and his physicality. And remember, y'all, people question Drake London's speed when he came out of the draft in 2022. They didn't know if he had enough speed to become a good receiver in the NFL. And Drake London just had over 1,200 yards this past season for the Atlanta Falcons. So I think he proved to people that just because you're not the fastest guy doesn't mean you cannot be a great player. And I think T-Mac is going to follow in his footsteps. And my prospect grade for him, y'all, I gave him a grade of 92, meaning he's a great prospect and he should become a consistent Pro Bowler. T-Mac is a number 7 player on my big board. I know some people are not that high on him, but y'all, I think he has everything you would want a modern day wide receiver to have. I mean, his size, his physicality, his contested catchability, his hands, and his dog mentality, y'all. Those are the qualities that you want your receiver to possess, and T-Mac definitely possesses those qualities. So I think he's going to become one of the premier receivers in the NFL. There I have it, man. This was my 2025 NFL Draft Scouting Report on Arizona wide receiver Tetairoa McMillan. Remember, y'all, laugh's a good medicine. So what? Make sure you get your daily dose. Y'all know I'm in it, man. I love y'all. God bless. Peace.